Welcome to this week's Discussing Fitchburg Now. We are discussing Fitchburg football. It's almost August. We're almost there.
We're getting there.
I mean, there's football actually started already in June, so we're ready for football, and we're going to talk about that tonight. My first guest on, I have Nathan Bilotta, the Vice President of Fitchburg Youth Football and Cheer.
Yes.
And you're also the Vice President of the Massachusetts Youth Football Alliance.
Correct. Very good.
So we're going to talk about both those things.
Yep.
And then in our second segment, we're going to be talking with some coaches from the QB1 Mentality Network, and then we're talking about the Mass Phoenix football with John Kiedaisch.
Yep.
Okay, but up now, Nathan Bilotta, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm wearing a couple hats tonight. I actually considered bringing them so that I could switch them back and forth.
Hat, yeah.
But,
you want to start with the Fitchburg Youth Football
That would be great. That would be great, yeah. So Fitchburg Youth Football has opportunities for kids from kindergarten up to 8th grade. Both football and cheerleading.
Is that for both cheerleading, kindergarten, all the way to 8th grade too?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And we've had some very competitive cheering things. Our 10U group last year made it to the New England finals, where one more win they've actually would have gone to compete nationally in Florida.
Yeah.
We had our 8th grade football team last year make it to the Central Mass Super Bowl. And the 7th grade team also made a deep playoff run. So we're excited to get another season going. We're right in the heart of registration season right now. They can go online at www.fitchburgyouthraiders.org in order to register. Or we're also offering in-person registrations. Tomorrow night, I will be sitting down at Buffalo Wild Wings from 6 to 8 to do old-fashioned paper registrations.
So Thursday, June 20th at Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's correct. From 6 to 8 p.m., I will be there doing old-fashioned paper registrations. People that have already registered can also drop off required documentation, things of that nature.
Or Fitchburg
www.fitchburgyouthraiders.org. Yep, that's where they can do it right online. First practice is Monday, July 22nd, so it's coming
month away.
Coming right up very quickly.
So what does the season look like? Say I'm a parent and I'm like, my child might want to do football. What is the commitment from me as a parent?
Sure, that's a great question. So the very first week on the football side, there's no equipment and it's literally just conditioning. It's running around, getting rid of the Xbox thumb, acclimating to the heat, which is a very, very important thing, teaching kids how to hydrate properly, getting them physically active. We do generally go Monday through Friday for 2 hours that week.
Monday through Friday, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
5 days,
for 2 hours.
Correct. And the league actually, and it's a national rule, they can't even put on pads until they've done 10 hours of conditioning without pads. Again, from a hydration, from a cardiovascular standpoint, just to make sure they're physically ready.
So one week.
One
they need
solid
to condition.
week.
And
Correct.
if they miss, then they need to.
They need to make it up. They have to have 10 hours under their belts. The following week, and actually until school starts, we generally go 4 or 5 nights a week. Each coach's level will make that decision on their own. Once school starts, we do drop to 3 nights a week, still generally 2 hours. And
what's
then
the time that
it's each coach makes their decision, but it's generally either 5:30 to 7:30. Some are 5 to 7. And some are 6 to 8, but it's that ballpark. And parents will let know by the first practice.
After work.
After work, absolutely after work. And there's a lot of carpooling that takes place because not every parent is home by 5 or 6 o'clock. So we do make an effort between the coaches and the parents to really be a community and support each other to make sure kids can get there.
That sounds nice.
And then after a few weeks, third week in August is the Jamboree, which is like the first exhibition game. It's a
where they play each
game.
other.
Yep. And then the last week in August, we start playing our actual games. And AYF as a league, there's
American Youth Football?
Correct. Central Massachusetts has 36 communities that have teams, so you're not traveling real far.
We're part of American Youth Football?
We are part of AYF, and we're in the Central Mass League.
Central Mass League.
Correct.
And there are
36 cities and towns.
In the Central Mass League?
Correct.
Oh, wow. So how many other leagues do you play?
There are 8 regular season games.
Okay.
And then we've got playoffs. If you make it to playoffs, you could conceivably play 11 or 12 games by the time you're finished. But Leominster, Gardner, which is called Chair City for our thing, Oakmont, Lunenburg, all the local cities and towns are back together having these organizations that are able to play each other.
So you travel, once the games start, you travel every week to...
Correct. So you'll generally have 4 home games and 4 away games. They're very often Saturday afternoons or evenings. Occasionally there'll be a Sunday morning. But when we host them in Fitchburg, they're generally Saturday afternoon into evening at Kiedaisch Field, which is the corner of Causeway and Franklin Road, down below Memorial Middle School. Correct. Yep.
Park Hill Plaza.
Yep. We're very fortunate to be one of the few organizations that has their own field that they control, rather than having to share it with a high school and compete for time. So that's a blessing that we've worked out with the city. We maintain the field, but we're able to control when we want to have our home games.
And it's a beautiful field with the what do you call that building?
The blockhouse.
The blockhouse with bathrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
And you serve food.
Yeah, oh yeah, we serve food. Yes, that's a very important part of our program. That helps us pay for our referees and stuff like that. So, and we do very well. People are very generous. Volunteering is a huge thing. You know, parents are very key to the success of the program when it comes to that.
Nice. And what is the cost for joining the either the football or the cheer? Or
so the price is the same, and the base cost is $150. There are multi-child discounts, so you go from $150 to, I think it's $225 and then $275. It's on the website, don't quote me. The only other additional cost is with cheer. There are things that the girls keep, like their sneakers and a few other things. So they have a spirit pack. That's a separate cost that's due a little bit later. And we always work with families on stuff like that. The other thing we're doing this year to help families that maybe can't come straight out of pocket is we're doing a calendar fundraiser for the month of September.
Like a little scholarship.
Correct. So everybody's going to be responsible for selling a certain amount, but then beyond that, if you can't afford to pay the registration, but you can sell a few more calendars, you can drive your cost down.
That's nice. That's thoughtful.
We never want to turn it, and we have not yet turned a child away because they couldn't afford to play. We will come up with a solution. We have generous community partners. We'll make it work. As long as the parents or somebody in the family is willing to show an effort, we'll work with those kids to make sure they're on the field.
And you sell great swag with the cool Raider logo.
We sell great swag. We sell great swag. We've got sweatshirts and t-shirts. Do
we have the Youth
hats.
Raider logo that we can throw up on the main screen? It's such a cool logo.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
This is fairly new, right?
Yep. That was a redesign 4 years ago that the board all got together and redesigned that. And then if you go to the backside of the blockhouse you're referring to, we've got a gorgeous mural of it on the backside.
Right when you're coming down Rollstone, you can see it. Done
by a local artist, actually, a niece of our former treasurer, Scott Broussard. She did a great job with that.
It looks awesome.
It's a lot of fun. It's a twist on the Raider. We're still very much the Red Raiders, but it's kind of a little different design that makes it our own.
Okay, so Fitchburg Youth Football and cheer.
Correct.
It goes all the way from kindergarten to 8th grade.
Correct.
There is a spot for your child.
Absolutely.
And it runs for how many weeks?
So the regular season is 8 weeks, and then if you make the playoffs, you could be going on a couple more after that. Generally speaking, we're done by the first week of November.
But it starts in July.
July 22nd is the first practice. So you've got a month that's basically just practices before the games start.
So it's 4 weeks and then 8 weeks of games.
Correct.
So it's a 12-week program, really.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so go to FitchburgYouthRaiders.org and you can register and find all the other information. There's also a Facebook page, Fitchburg Youth Football and Cheer.
Correct.
Okay. So you want to put on the Massachusetts Youth
Yeah,
Football
we're going
hat?
to switch the hat.
Okay.
Massachusetts Youth Football Alliance. So the Massachusetts Youth Football Alliance was formed because of a bill which is called H2007.
H2007.
The bill it's called the No Hits Act, and it was a proposal to ban youth tackle football below 8th grade in the Commonwealth.
Because of the concerns of head injuries and the lasting, devastating effects potentially on youth.
Correct. And we at the Alliance respect the concept, but we feel it's misguided. Mm-hmm. And we actually have two neuropathologists that are involved in our board, Dr. Peter Cummings and Dr. Karen Postal. And what they've done is they've both not only analyzed the research that was used to introduce to the legislature, but one is a football mom, Dr. Postal's a football mom, and Dr. Cummings is a football coach. And what they've talked about is that a lot of the information that is used was based on retired NFL players that had already showed neurotrauma symptoms when they donated their brains.
Right.
So, and they're also
maybe attributing that to they played youth football.
That's the argument, and they also are people that played greater than 10 years ago. And what we're trying to inform people and teach people about is the changes in how we teach football over the last 10 years. The advent of the Heads Up program through USA Football, teaching kids to take their head out of the tackle. Things like tip of the spear, which Scott Peters will be presenting at the event I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, which is teaching interior linemen to take their head out of the tackle. We're teaching more of a rugby style tackle in football now. We're reducing the amount of hours of contact, full contact within a football practice. The equipment has changed. When I played 30 years ago, the helmet weighed about 12 pounds.
Right.
A helmet now weighs less than 4 pounds.
And it's selectively foamed and protected.
The padding is very different.
They use computer 3D modeling to know exactly where to put these foams.
And that doesn't, I would never want to be misquoted and to say a helmet's going to prevent a concussion. Right. But the package of how we've done things is starting to be studied, and you're seeing a reduction in these things, which is not what's being presented to the public.
And the NFL itself has changed the game significantly.
Correct.
With the rules of how you can tackle and what you're allowed to do
100%.
in order to reduce the amount of concussions, because it is a problem with the NFL.
Correct. Another big thing is there's a push with the main opposition group called the Concussion Legacy Foundation to only play flag until you're 14. Except and flag's a great sport, but number one, if you're a guy built like this, you're not playing a lot of flag football because you're not as nimble and you're not going down the field at high speeds and all these other things.
Yeah, whereas in tackle football, there are some of the kids that can run fast, and then there are some of the kids that can block.
Correct. But the bigger thing is, the University of Iowa released a study showing that the injury rate in flag football is actually higher than tackle.
Really?
And the concussion rate is about the same.
Really?
Because they're still going at high speeds. Their collisions, instead of being with each other, are quite often with the ground. And the ground doesn't give. Another human body does. So
especially in the winter.
Exactly. There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. And the Mass Youth Football Alliance on Sunday at Fitchburg State University is holding what we're calling a celebration of youth football. And there are many, many tiers to it. There's going to be a youth football clinic led by Terrence Turner, former Philadelphia Eagle, along with some other groups that will be running at Elliott Field, an actual youth football clinic.
Oh, nice.
And then up on the college campus itself, we're going to be doing first aid CPR training for coaches. We're going to be doing a mom's clinic where Dr. Postal and a member of the Central Mass Board are going to be teaching moms everything. And we say moms, I know it's a little sexist, non-football oriented parents, everything they want to know about what's going on in my practice, what's the point of this drill, tell me about mandatory plays, Tell me about anything
All the more
to do
information.
with that. Then there are going to be 2 breakout sessions. Coach Tom Bingham from St. Bernard's is going to be doing a breakout session for coaches, teaching them how to effectively run a football practice while reducing the amount of full contact you're using. And then Scott Peters from the organization Tip of the Spear is going to be doing the same thing with regard to interior linemen, which are the guys that are doing the main repetitive contact, is teaching them how to block with their hands and their footwork rather than having their helmet involved in the play.
Don't do it like this.
Correct.
Don't use the top of your head.
And then at the day's end, the last piece is going to be a really cool roundtable. Myself and Paul Dodderis, who's the president of the Alliance, are going to be moderating an event, which is going to be a roundtable. Dr. Postal will be there. Dr. Cummings will be there. Tom Bingham will be on there. Frank Cray, who's the head of officials for Central Massachusetts. Gordy Lochbaum, who's a former Heisman Trophy candidate from Holy Cross in the 80s. Gordy was a very highly touted college player who's going to be sharing some of that piece to the puzzle. Representatives from USA Football. And we're going to talk...
all the big names.
We're going to talk about player safety. We're going to talk about the evolution of the sport and where it's going forward, and why, although we respect the concerns that the legislature has, why we feel like they're missing the mark, and why we want to have a further conversation to bring youth football down the road.
Very good. Okay, so this event, and here we're looking at a video from the State House.
That was the State House rally that we had. Yep, that was in April, and that was a great day. We had representatives from Pop Warner, AYF, the independent leagues. We had some great speakers, keynoted by Andre Tippett, NFL Hall of Famer, Patriots Hall of Famer, talking about the value of youth football, why H2007 is misguided, and where we want to go to protect not only youth football, but more importantly, the players, to educate people as to the safety that we're working on and how we can make it a better product for everybody in the state.
Sounds like a good conversation. Great. Okay, so more information about the event that Nathan was talking about. This is Sunday, June 23rd.
Correct.
At Fitchburg State University?
Yes, it's at Fitchburg State.
And what time does it begin?
Their event begins at 10 a.m. and it runs until 4.
10 to 4.
Correct. The main thing that that the general public might be interested in is the roundtable, which is from 2 to 4 p.m. A lot of the other stuff is kind of coach specific and things like that. Breakout clinics,
clinics at Elliott Field and other various football talks.
That's correct.
And is there a cost for this?
Yeah, the cost is actually for the adult portion is only $10. The youth clinic is, I believe, $40. But that's a several-hour youth clinic with a retired NFL player.
And what ages youth is this?
The kids are all the way from ages 5 until 8th grade.
So kindergarten to 8th grade, just like
our registrations.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so Sunday, June 23rd at Fitchburg State University. Is this on your website as well?
Yep, it's been shared on our website. It's also on the Facebook page, or people can search Mass Youth Football Alliance. Mass Youth Football Alliance, and we can find out more information about that. Correct. All right. Is there anything else that we might have missed, Nathan? I think we've covered it. I would encourage people, if you're looking to do research on H2007, and contact your local representatives and find out what their opinions on it are. Our local representatives, we have people on both sides. Senator Tran opposes it. Senator Hay is actually one of its sponsors. We've had productive and respectful conversations with both of them. But the more people that educate themselves and have conversations about it, I think the better that the conversation is going to be. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Nathan Bilotta, the Vice President of the Fitchburg Youth Football and Cheer and of the Central Mass Youth Football Alliance. Yep. We're going to cut to a short little break, and then we're going to come back on with the QB1 Mentality Network. Yes. Right? Okay. Hi.
Hi, Sam Squalia here with Will and Lavender D'Arcangelo talking about Will and the Tribe's red carpet premiere and live concert on Friday, June 21st at the Senior Center. What's happening, Will?
Well, we went to Times Square 3 years ago and did a concert. The Tribe, we all went down on a bus, and the Gay Hero Project, which is a media company based in Keene, New Hampshire, and they create documentary shorts on people that they consider to be heroes within the LGBT community. They followed us on the bus to Times Square and filmed our concert down there and spent the summer with us. And so they're going to premiere this documentary that's been 3 years in the making.
Amazing. I can't believe it was 3 years ago.
I know. I can't believe it either. And so we're so excited about the premiere of that. We're going to have a red carpet. There's going to be a photo wall there. And so we're encouraging people to dress their best red carpet. And we'll have prizes for best wardrobe and best dressed, rather. And then the Tribe is going to be doing its first concert in 2 years. We haven't had a concert in 2 years. So, in fact, our drummer has flown back from Chicago for the event.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
All the old hoodlums are getting together.
So this is Friday, June 21st at the Senior Center, 14 Wallace Ave, and there's a $5 suggested donation. The event will last about an hour and a half, maybe longer, because there'll be a DJ playing music after the band.
Yep, and the bar will be open, and the proceeds will go to benefit the Fitchburg Lions Club. And there'll be some little concession things there that will benefit the Tribe's mentorship program. It's starting again in the fall, and so we're really looking forward to it because we get a chance to spend some time with Tribe people who've already kind of gotten older and moved away, and lots of people are coming back to participate in this event. It's going to be really fun. People who like the Tribe's music will get a great dose of it.
It'll be a great way to support Will and the Tribe, who always supports everything that we do in the community. So we'll see you there on Friday night. It should be a good time. Thanks. Hi, Sam Squalia here with Amy and Keith Gleason, organizers and founders of the Plastic City Comic Con, which is happening this year, Saturday, July 13th at the Wallace Civic Center in Fitchburg. The 4th annual, right, guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it is. We're very excited.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome. So I went a couple years ago, and it was enormous. I mean, the place is packed, and it looks like an awesome time for the comic enthusiasts. Is this year going to be about the same?
Yeah, I'd say about the same, but a little more.
Yeah.
You know.
A little more.
So we found a way to stick like 10 more tables in there. So you already seen that it was packed to the brim.
Oh yeah.
So we found a way to stick more tables in there.
There's authors, there's every kind of comic book author that you can think of. There's book authors, there's wrestlers, there's there's cars. There was the Batmobile or something.
Funko Pops, toys.
Those little.
We even have
toys,
like a game maker coming this year that makes like
tabletop gaming.
Yeah, tabletop.
Like Monopoly?
Game. Yeah, but like more like a card game and stuff. So it should be fun.
Like Pokemon?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
I know enough.
Yeah, right.
You do enough to get by.
Yeah, right.
So we have some special guests as well. We have some flyers for those special guests too. Well, who do we got coming? A wrestler?
Yeah, we got Larry Hama, which is on screen now. He's comic fans will know him. He's like. He's known for G.I. Joe primarily. Like he's the guy that
Wolverine?
writes G.I. Joe. He actually consulted on the movies and everything. Like he's the go-to guy for everything G.I. Joe.
So we can meet Larry Hama and get his autograph?
Yep. Cool. He'll be there signing stuff. We also got Barbara Friedlander, who is somebody making her way back to conventions. Like she was big in the 60s. She did a lot of the DC romance comics. Yeah, so she's someone kind of new to the Comic-Con scene.
Cool.
And she's coming to our show to check it all out.
And we'll be able to see all her comic books. I'm sure she'll have them.
Yep, she'll be there signing and everything. Joe has been with us since year one. He's coming back.
Joe's the best.
Joe is the best. He does a lot of the Disney stuff.
Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6.
DuckTales, Frozen. He writes all that stuff.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, so he's coming.
I used to watch DuckTales.
Yeah, DuckTales was good.
DuckTales was a good one. And what's the rest?
So we have our friends at Lucky Pro Wrestling, which they're based out of Clinton. I thought they were coming to just set up and sell their merch, but they're actually bringing in Tito Santana.
yeah,
so that's
nice.
going to be great, you know. So
Selling his 8x10s.
Yeah, you'll be selling all kinds of stuff,
Get your
signing.
picture taken with him.
Yeah.
shake his hand,
Awesome.
all that.
Yeah.
So the event, this is the 4th annual. It's Saturday, July 13th, and it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Wallace Civic Center,
Yep.
which is, what, 1000 Judvich Highway?
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
1000 Judvich
correct.
Highway
Yeah.
in Fitchburg.
Plenty of free parking, kids under 12 free.
Yep, we
and
have
only
an ATM
5.
this year. There was no ATM before.
We're bringing in
Nice.
ATMs this year.
Because it's $5 cash donation. I mean, admission.
Admission, but yeah, we were telling people beforehand to just bring cash, but now you don't have to worry about that. You just show up.
Brilliant. So you just bring your debit card
Yeah.
and they'll be able to take care of it.
And I think the snack bar will be open like usual, and yeah, just be a fun day.
Awesome.
Come and walk around and see all the local talent, you know.
And it's nice and cool in there, so if it's a hot day.
Yeah. it'll be-
Yes, yeah, it'll be nice
Yep.
and cool.
We should have some people coming in costumes. A lot of the attendees, as you know, like to wear their cosplay costumes.
Cosplay,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get pictures with the different characters and your kids can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are all attendees, so we don't plan them. So whoever shows up, shows up. But
Yeah.
you never know.
But
Batman will
Batman's
be
coming,
there.
yeah,
you know,
Batman.
Batman will be there. So
Awesome.
be good.
Well, thank you so much, Keith and Amy, for
Thanks.
organizing this awesome
Yeah.
event and continuing to put it on and grow it.
Yeah.
We'll see you there Saturday, July 13th at the Wallace Civic Center for the 4th annual Plastic City Comic Con. All right, thanks.
Thanks.
And we're back discussing Fitchburg Now. I am here with QB1 Mentality Network coaches, Ben and Anthony. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So the QB1 Mentality Network. So really what this is a conditioning program for football athletes, but the conditioning program is tailored towards your mental conditioning as opposed to your athletic conditioning, right?
Correct.
Tell us about that.
So basically what we do is we train the athletes to know the game on the mental side. We work with them about figuring out what to do and what not to do in certain situations and how to look at the game from not a athlete standpoint, but from like a smarter standpoint, just to know what you're seeing, know what you're doing out there, know what's coming for you, pre-snap reads, all the mental stuff, everything that can help you on the mental side of the game. That basically, we want to outsmart all the athletes that's playing.
Because you can be the fastest runner, but if you
Right.
can't read someone and know where to run and catch the ball,
Right.
you're never going to succeed.
Right. If you don't know what's going on, you're not going to succeed.
And another, I assume this also goes along with what you're saying, but like you can run, you know, but really like 70% of it is you're giving up mentally.
Correct.
You know, when you're running and you're just like, I'm done. But like your mental conditioning, like to keep you going.
Yeah.
You also teach that?
Definitely. So like when you think about QB1, the logo itself brings in the brain and also the football aspect. So what you're taking a look at is high pressure situations, also with knowing your development and your muscle memory. When you look at guys like Russell Wilson or when you look at Tom Brady, when they went through the combine, their numbers weren't amazing. But as you've seen through Tom Brady's career, he has that mental toughness, he has that mental preparation, he has the thought process to know where he's going with the ball, and also the ability to read defenses.
Yeah, we didn't take Tom Brady in the early rounds of the draft, right? What was he, like the 8th round?
6th round draft pick.
6th round.
You know?
Yeah, can we pull up the logo right on the big screen here? The logo's just brilliantly sums up kind of what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. The brain and the football.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Then-
perfect.
Yeah.
It tells you exactly what you do.
So that's just like the most important part. We know like there's a lot of athletes who are like great athletes.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym,
Iron,
they work
run.
out regularly, but then that mental toughness is what we try to teach and promote, because when you're in that 4th and 2 in the 4th quarter of the state championship game, you got to know what's going on. You got to know who your reads are. You have to know who your indicators are and what's really going on in the game.
So what kind of timeline of a program do you start with? Like what, do you start with young children? Do you start with middle schoolers? All of the above? And what does it look like, a general training program?
I'll let you.
So we basically work with everyone from middle, high school, and some professional athletes. We do an evaluation session, see what you know, what you can improve on, and we go from there. We sit down and we draw up a plan, and we go on from there. And the first session is whatever we've decided to work on. Can be anything from posture. We work on mechanics a lot. We try to drill that into our athletes. Like having the perfect mechanic is really going to help you out throughout the game.
When you say mechanics, what do you mean?
Like the right way to throw the football. A lot of kids are good passers. They can throw the ball, but they've figured out a way for them to throw the ball that works for them, and it's not necessarily the right way to throw it. So we try to balance it out, so you're using more of your body and not just your arms. You got to use your legs too and stuff like that too.
Because you can over time get tired and or injure yourself.
Right, and just keeping you. It also keeps you safe on the field also, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Christian's worked with someone who just came back from torn rotator's cuff, teaching them to use their legs more and also using the hips to follow through. It's just like a pitcher in baseball. It's not just all arm motion to throw 98 miles per hour. Right. It's form, it's technique, it's making sure that you're sound with those things, so that way you can follow through and not only just throwing well, but winning a couple games.
That's kind of important.
Yeah. Just a little.
So you work with like the Pirates Arena Football?
I know that Sean Brackett, quarterback from the Pirates, has done a couple sessions with QB1. I know that we know that Dexter McCluster is going to be attending our QB1 Experience football camp week 1. The camp is for ages kindergarten through 12th grade.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, Oh, I think we have a flyer for the camp that you're talking about. Do we have a flyer up in the list? Pretty sure I grabbed a flyer. Let's see.
There we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Can we throw this up on the main screen? There we go. Week 1 of the QB1 experience. So it starts July 8th?
Yep, July 8th through August 9th. It's going to be 6 p.m. through 8 p.m. at Clark University's athletic complex. We chose that time because we understand, like, parents have to work.
Yeah, so, it's after work for me.
So we know that it's easier for parents to get their kids there to experience something with former NFL athletes, former current arena athletes. Definitely a thank you to Dexter, thank you to Jawad. There's just also Hassan Yadam from the Pirates. They're definitely great people to have an association with yourself.
So it's a 4-week program?
It's a 5-week program.
5-week program.
But it's per
all the way
week.
from kindergarten to 12th grade.
Yep.
And you don't have to do all 5 weeks?
No, you do not.
No.
So each week you'll still be getting the same worthy training. It'll be position based. There's going to be it's not just for quarterbacks though. It's for every single position in football.
The whole team.
Quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, offensive linemen, defensive backs, linebackers, and also defensive linebackers and
special teams?
No special teams.
No special teams?
No, but one special thing about the camp is every Thursday there's going to be a 7-on-7 tournament for high school students and also for the youth. So the entire Thursday camp is everything they've learned Monday through Wednesday, they get to now put into a game. And we'll also be filming the high school 7-on-7 tournaments, so that way we can have a film evaluation and a breakdown for them, so that way they go into their high school season.
See what you did here? Now maybe if we just tweaked it
Just a little bit. Yeah, exactly. So we feel like those are going to be developmental things that help the students who do go to the camp, so that they understand, well, I didn't just go to a football camp. I actually learned something. I'm actually going to progress my game. I'm going to actually be able to take the next steps forward.
Right. With mental conditioning.
Yeah, there we go.
With a real focus on the mental conditioning.
Yes.
Do you also teach kids how to handle the cold? Is that a thing?
You know what?
I feel like I would get really cold.
I feel like that's part of mental conditioning.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think we can try and we'll talk to Christian. We'll try and get that one to be put in there.
So what have you learned in the what you've been doing when you've been coaching? What has changed? You know, how'd you start and then you've changed your approach?
Our approach, basically, from the beginning, we obviously we start out with the eval. Now after the eval, we go through the plan, and we try to minimize the amount of time we spend on trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. We speed up that process, and we come up with a great plan for the athletes to work on, and that can be anything from like throwing, how to get the ball out the pocket faster, even down to the steps that you take when you're dropping back. It's everything, all the little things.
What about determining what position is best suited for you? Is that a thing? Like how do you know who's the linebacker and who's the wide receiver? I mean, well, that one's easy.
I feel like at a youth level, you want to have every kid experience everything. Like, I know when I was playing youth, I started off on defensive line, and that was just something that coaches did to get us more aggressive, to be able to deal with, well, someone's bigger than me or someone that's running at me is stronger than me. I feel like at a youth level, everyone should play everything. Of course, there are going to be kids who are standouts at certain positions, and they should train there. But an overall thing that we like to prepare everyone for is to be a football player, not just a quarterback, not just a running back, not just a wide receiver.
A more flexible.
Exactly.
A flexible position player.
Yep. That way, when you get to high school, you may be a quarterback and get assigned to play safety. You might be a running back that's no longer, there's a senior running back that's not going to lose his spot, and you might have to go to a wide receiver for a little bit. And that's also like part of what we teach. It's that mental toughness where it's not feeling defeated or not feeling as if, well, I'm not good enough. It's how can I contribute to my team?
Do you teach plays? Like specific plays?
We don't teach specific plays, but we'll go over plays that a certain team runs and try to make that player understand it and be more efficient on the field.
Like, so you'll be like, all right, so you run this play a lot. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because like, so if a system runs, as an example, heavy drags, they have 4 wide and the 2 slot inside guys are running drags, and you have let's say a hook on the outside guys, you want that kid to get used to throwing those routes. If your offense runs predominantly particular routes, you want to make sure that kid's comfortable, because if you're going to send everybody with training on a streak down the field and they don't throw that often, you're not really preparing them for how to play within that system. So
that sounds really complicated, everything you just said there.
I was sitting there trying to think of the easiest way to put it out. But
I'm picturing Madden with the X's and the O's and
exactly.
the lines.
But I definitely feel like you want to train everybody or prepare everyone for, if you know the system, or if their coach in a youth league signs up 30 kids, you would want to teach them what they're going to be doing within that system. So that way they go into their season feeling more prepared, and that coach knows that he's put his trust in you and it's been worth it.
So you do, is this one of the 7-on-7s?
Yes, this is 707 that we were doing at Anna Maria College with, I believe, the Worcester Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
That's actually one of the quarterbacks that we work with.
That one?
Yeah. He's really good.
Nice. Oh, that looks like fun. All right, so you can sign up for the group trainings for 5 weeks, and you can also have one-on-one lessons.
Yes.
Right? How does that work?
So you can talk to Christian directly, or you can go on our website, www.QB1Mentality.com, and everything will be on the website, and you can sign up and do everything from there.
So QB1Mentality.com. And you can find the links to register, all the information on the trainings that are coming up, and everything you need.
Everything you need.
QB1 Mentality.
Yep.
Oh, and here's another flyer for the July 8th through August 9th. Learn the mental side of the game. That seems like a really important side of the game, huh?
Yeah, it
but,
is.
you know, you mostly hear about the athletic kind of conditioning side. Whenever you hear about talking about football, you're talking about running and, you know, the pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because coaches always want the best players, the fastest, the toughest, the strongest players, but you can be all of that, but if you don't have the smarts and know how to run certain routes, how to, the timing of everything, it's not all gonna translate on the field. You can, even if you're the fastest, it just won't translate as well. So.
And if you're mentally conditioning yourself like this, then you're also working better maybe with your teammates.
Right.
Because when you get, you know, I know in the NFL, there's a lot of problems with certain players, you know, not getting along with their teammates.
Yeah.
Is that also another portion?
I feel that the mentality portion, it also does set in with that. It's just like work. Going to the NFL, going to work every day, there's going to be teammates or coworkers that you don't get along with that you have to work with. And the mentality portion of this not only allows you to understand that to be tough mentally on the field, but also when you're in the classroom, when you're taking a test. It teaches you to be tough where you want to go outside and play, but you know you have a test tomorrow. So let's go study for our test so that way we can get a good grade. We feel like it's not only just a setup for sports, but football transitions into so many other aspects of life.
Teaches you commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and conditioning.
And teamwork.
And teamwork. Oh, there's so many things. All right, great. So is there anything else that we want to add before we close?
Just sign up for the QB1 Experience Camp. It's July 8th through August 9th. We have some of the local pros coming. We also have
a lot of special guests
that we're keeping as surprises. But
all the way from kindergarten to 12th grade.
Yeah. So sign up.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, coaches, for the QB1 Mentality Network.
Thank you.
Ben and Anthony. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be talking Mass Phoenix semi-pro football. Hi, here with Will and D'Arcangelo talking about the LGBT Jazz Cabaret Luncheon on Sunday, June 23rd at the First Parish Church, which features former ambassador to Denmark,
correct,
Rufus Gifford, and his husband,
Stephen DeVincent.
Dr. Stephen
DeVincent. And the two of them, we're honoring both of them at this event. They're both, you know, really good public servants, and the fact that we want to, you know, honor Rufus's husband as well, you know, it takes two, as you well know. You're just as dependent on your husband for your success as Rufus is for his. And so what we decided to do was host in the Phillips Hall, which is a theater space that we're renovating right now for widespread community use. We thought this would be a great way to inaugurate the hall. Nice. And so we're holding a luncheon. We've hired a professional jazz ensemble, and Lavender will be making her cabaret debut.
It's the first time, my first cabaret performance. And I'm pretty pumped.
Do we get any like preview?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why not?
What would you sing if you could sing something of yours right now?
Well, this is a song I made up for two members of the tribe who passed in 2014. Here's a preview.
Okay, go for it.
Will I ever hear your voice again? Will I ever hear you laugh again?
Beautiful.
I just realized something.
What?
That's for another event. I don't know why. Well, whatever. Okay. You know what?
So we don't.
She's not singing that at that event, but that voice.
Something completely brand new.
I wanted to show you guys because it's my first song I wrote.
That's true. That's true. And she will be singing that at another event on Friday night. But she's singing Part of Your World at this event.
The song
Village.
called The Village.
You're singing
Smile.
and Rise Up.
Yup, by Andre Day. and I can't give you anything but love.
And we rehearsed with the jazz pianist on Tuesday, and it sounded so beautiful. And we're going to have a nice big buffet spread in the beautiful Phillips Hall. And
awesome.
The proceeds of the ticket price will go towards the continuing restoration of Phillips Hall, because it's really going to be an important venue for the city of Fitchburg moving forward.
Okay, so the details are it's Sunday, June 23rd at the First Parish Church, which is right at the front of the Upper Common. Tickets are $20, and you can buy those in advance right on the First Parish Church website.
That's right. The website is fitchburguu.tix.com to buy your tickets, or you can also reserve them by calling the church at 978-343-6307.
Perfect. And the time that starts is 12:30 p.m. So you'll be able to get a buffet lunch. We'll be able to, you know, hang out, a cabaret show, support the LGBT community.
Rub elbows with some muckety mucks.
It's going to be a great time. I'll see you there.
See you.
Okay. And welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now, where we're talking football, all kinds of football. And now I have John Kiedaisch, the owner of the Mass Phoenix football team.
Correct.
Which is our Fitchburg Leominster football team.
Correct.
Right? And it's part of the
East Coast Football League.
The East Coast Football League.
Correct.
And this is a semi-pro tackle football league.
Oh yes. Yep.
How does that work?
Basically, we have the team here in Leominster, Fitchburg and Leominster, and there are teams throughout New England. We have one in New Hampshire, two in Maine. We have 3 in Rhode Island, 4, I believe, in Connecticut. I don't know if I'm covering them all.
Mm-hmm. There's 15 teams
15
in total
teams
in the league.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And we're one of them.
Correct. The league has been in effect for 3 years. This is our 2nd year in the league.
Nice.
I actually was one of the founders of the league, but I got so involved the first year with getting the league off the ground, I didn't have enough time to properly format my football team, so that had to wait a year.
Okay, the first year.
Correct.
That's why you did the 2nd year, the first year last year.
Correct.
And this 2019 is the second year in the Mass Phoenix in existence.
Correct.
Yeah. So the home games are played at Doyle Field.
Correct.
And you practice in Fitchburg at Goodrich Street School.
As a matter of fact, I want to mention that the city of Fitchburg has been very supportive. The Rec and Parks, Nate LaRose, has been very generous in setting us up with the field there to use.
You have a nice light?
Actually, we're in the process of getting a light.
Yeah.
Yes,
I heard about that Parks Board meeting.
Yes, he's working with Unitil to get that all set up for us.
Brilliant. So
that we can have that for the later practices. Because being a working man's league, trying to practice while there's daylight is not always as easy. Mm-hmm. The guys are coming home from work, have to address family issues. Also, some of them work outside of the specific area, so have travel involved, all of this. So if we're able to start a little bit later, we get better turnout for our team.
And so how many players do you have on the team?
It fluctuates. We actually are still accepting players, but right now we have a roster of about 50 players.
50 players?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Are there any players that never get to play, like Rudy?
Actually, we try to limit the number of players. There are teams that will accept up to 65 or 70 players. In that case, you don't. You know, there are many players who never get off the bench. Our philosophy is we don't want to keep somebody just to have numbers. If we can't utilize your skills, whether it be in special teams, in the offense, the defense, somehow, we would rather have you go to another team where you can better, utilize your skills. Mm-hmm.
And so your home games are played at Doyle Field.
Correct.
In the evening hours.
Yes, they start at 7 o'clock, typically run for about 2.5 hours. It's a nice night out for
It's
a family.
a full football game.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
And you play, and the other traveling teams from across New England.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The team we're playing this Saturday is coming down from Maine.
Maine. What's the name of the team?
They're the Maine Wolverines.
Oh, the Wolverines. Can we throw up the flyer for the home opener on the main screen here?
There we go.
Is that it? Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Saturday, June 22nd, 7 p.m. at Doyle Field, which is at 100 Priest Street.
Correct.
And then we're playing the Maine Wolverines versus our Mass Phoenix.
And we are having some additional promotional things for
like
the families.
The QB1 Mentality Network is doing a promotion.
Yes, that is actually, it's a season-long promotion. QB1 and ourselves have joined together. They will be donating, we're referring to it as the 7 for 7 program. QB1 will be donating $7 for every touchdown scored, whether offensively, defensively, or special teams, by the Mass Phoenix.
Worth 7 points, worth $7.
Exactly. And it's donated to a charity of the choosing by QB1.
Brilliant. That's a nice collaboration.
Yes, we were very pleased to join with them to accomplish it.
So I went to a game last year, and it's an awesome time.
No.
You can bring the kids. It's inexpensive. What is it, $10?
Actually, it's $7 for an adult, $3 for high school or seniors.
Perfect. And children
under
are free?
13, free.
Aha. So it's only $7.
Correct.
And you can also buy season tickets this year?
Yes, we are offering season tickets. For the 5 games, it's $25. For the 5 games.
For the 5 home games?
It's roughly 30% savings.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's a nice night out. I bring my daughter. The concession stands are open.
Correct.
They play music over the, it's a great production.
We try to make it a fun night.
It's just beautiful.
And again, we have additional sponsors who are stepping up to help us. Fidelity Bank happens to have an ice cream truck that they send around to events. That's going to be there giving away ice cream on Saturday.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Yep. And another of our sponsors, Buffalo Wild Wings, is sending their mascot with some fan giveaways and incentives, for the youngsters that want to come and enjoy the game. And a last sponsor, Vitamin One. It's a vitamin water. My guys love it. It's similar, and I hesitate to say similar, to
the G1?
G1, but it has 0 sugar and no dyes, so it is turf friendly.
Oh, yeah, so you can dump it out.
Well, exactly, because most turf fields won't allow any form of Gatorade.
So we have a picture of the Vitamin One. Can we throw that up on the screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we got one of those. I think it's in there.
Oh, is that the one we took at the game?
Yeah, right. Where you can see the field.
Great shot.
That's a good one. You see it?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
That's a great shot.
There we go. Drink Vitamin One. So
yeah,
they're also a promotional sponsor of the Mass Phoenix.
Yep, and they're going to be have a tent there, and they're going to be offering free samples.
Oh, nice. So there's all kinds of goodies. It's on the home opener.
That's exactly
which is Saturday, June 22nd, 7 p.m. at Doyle Field.
Correct. Correct.
So do you have any breakout stars this year?
Actually, we have a number. First of all, I'd like to make a comment. I am very proud of the young men on the team. It's comprised about 85% from Fitchburg and Leominster.
Oh, that's awesome.
We do have some supporters from Gardner, from Lunenburg, from Air, and 1 or 2 from Worcester. But our core is the Fitchburg-Leominster area.
The Twin City core.
Yes. Yes.
So it's all your friends and neighbors.
And they have bought into the program that we want to institute of having fun and playing football, but doing it right and giving back to the community. Now, to answer your question about stars, we have a lot of them. I'll start with our captains. Our captains on the team are Bob Goldsby, has a number of years experience in semi-pro. We have Alex Rivera, a standout at Leominster in his high school days, and a standout with us the last 2 seasons. Akeem Payton, who is a standout stud on our defense, and one of our offensive linemen, Cliff Robertson.
Aha! Those are our breakout stars that we can that we'll hear over the the speakers.
I certainly expect to. And then we have our quarterbacks. We're very fortunate. We actually have 3 quarterbacks.
Is that not common?
Again, in semi-pro,
is two would seem common. 1 and a backup.
You hope for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not unusual in semi-pro to really have one and another person who can fill in if he gets hurt. We're very fortunate. We actually have 3 quarterbacks. One is Matt Seward, who was a star at Gardner High School. We have a gentleman named Zeke Santiago, who has played a number of years in semi-pro, and a standout locally, Curtis Ludden, who is both a backup quarterback and a running back for the team. We're very fortunate to have a lot of depth.
Nice. So so are we feeling confident in our winning? Are we going to win?
Yes.
Mass Phoenix? Because I'm rooting for Mass
Yes.
Phoenix. Root for the home team.
We are definitely expecting to win.
Yeah.
On
What
Saturday.
was last year's score?
Our last year's record was 7-3-1, and for first year.
There was 1 tie?
Yes. But the tie was during the worst downpour I have ever been involved in.
Tough game.
Oh, it was just unbelievable.
So we had a winning record last year.
Oh, yes.
With only 3 losses.
Correct. And we did ultimately lose in the semifinal round of the playoffs. Actually, our goal was just to get one game further. We wanted to get to the championship.
So who was the Super Bowl type champion?
Was the Connecticut Mustangs.
Connecticut Mustangs.
Yep.
Connecticut.
Very good team. Very good team. I'm
one of those, sports.
Oh, I am too, but I try to be fair.
Only the Patriots.
Yeah.
I hate the Jets.
And this year so far, we've got a 2-0 record.
Oh yeah, because you've played 2 away games.
Exactly.
And we've won.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep, we won 41-8, and last week was 17-0.
So is the game played like NFL?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Similar rules?
Almost identical. Yeah. There's a few timing issues, etc., that are different, but
very similar.
Basically,
you'll be able to follow along.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so in our last minute of the show, let's tell us how we can find more information about the Mass Phoenix football team.
The easiest way would be to go to our website, which is massphoenix.com.
Massphoenix.com.
Correct.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X.
Correct. We have our schedule there. We have write-ups on our games. We also have videos attached of our games. So if somebody missed a game and wanted to see some clips, you can actually watch them right from the website.
And we can see the schedule of the upcoming games at Doyle Field. All the home games, there are 5 in total,
correct,
are played at Doyle Field, which is in Leominster.
Yeah,
and
all
practices are going to be happening in Fitchburg.
Correct.
So you can maybe pop down and see practices?
We'd love to have you.
Awesome. All right.
Love to have you.
So thank you so much, John.
Oh,
John Kiedaisch.
Yes.
The owner of Mass Phoenix.
Mass Phoenix.
Mass Phoenix Semi-Pro Football.
Correct.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Tell us about the new East Coast Football League. This will be fun. I hope to make it down on Saturday. I'm going to bring my daughter.
Please.
She'll be so happy.
We'd be thrilled to have you.
All right, and thank you for watching Discussing Fitchburg Now, where we talked everything about football. I'm excited. All right, so thank you so much. We'll see you next week.